Hey guys, how's it going? Hopefully you're having a wonderful week like always, because today I'm continuing with my Lady Gaga discography journey and we've made it to her 5th studio album from 2016 called Joanne. And as you can see, I dressed for the occasion. I kind of like it. I won't lie. I'm gonna rock the cowboy hat in all my other videos. Just kidding. Or am I? Now, Joanne was a big turning point in Lady Gaga's career. It's when she revamped her image and toned down her look for this new era of Joanne. The death of Gaga's aunt, Joanne Stephanie Germanotta, deeply influenced the record. Even the album artwork. This is not album artwork we've come to expect from Lady Gaga, but it's a nice, refreshing image for Gaga, in my opinion. The release and promotion of the album marked a softening of Gaga's image, who took a more singer-songwriter-oriented look, consisting mainly of a pink, wide-brimmed cowboy hat, vintage denim, and pastel colors invoking the 1970s. The lukewarm reception to art pop led Lady Gaga's management to come up with an image change for her. This was the beginning stages of the softening of Lady Gaga's image, and this seeped into her next project after Joanne, which was A Star Is Born. There are 13 tracks on the album, and the album is 45 minutes, and of course, I have heard this album before, way back when it was released 5 years ago, but it's been a few years since I've listened to quite a few of these songs, so I actually don't remember what a few of these songs sound like. But anyway, let's get into it with track 1, Diamond Heart. Oh. Oh yeah, I'm wearing a cowboy hat. Well, that's not... Oh god. Wow, this is the first time. I've done over, 350 album review reaction videos on my channel, and this is the first time where I might not actually be able to wear my headphones. That just looks ridiculous, no way. You know what, since I can't use my headphones, I might use my AirPods. I did buy these AirPod Pros a few weeks ago, and I am absolutely obsessed with them, so maybe, you know what? Ah yes, that works.
Young wild American, out of school, go in for 100 or 2. 1, 5, 10, like a million. Oh, young wild American, come on, baby. I'm not flawless, but I got a diamond heart. Young wild American, daddy's girl's never good enough. 1, 5, 10, like a million on me. Rain on me a million. I might not be flawless, but you know I got a diamond heart. Don't you know what I'm worth? Young American, do you have a girlfriend? I might not be flawless, but you know I got a diamond heart. Diamond heart.
And that was track 1, Diamond Heart. Definitely a new sound for Gaga, and I like it. I remember listening to this album for the first time, and prior to listening to the album for the first time, the only song I had heard was, I believe, Perfect Illusion. And I didn't know what to expect going into this album. I remember liking the album, but not loving it. So I'm curious to know how much my opinion's gonna change on it after all these years. First and foremost, I think her vocals are the standout on this track. I also like the lyrics of the song. I like the story she's telling. Young wild American, looking to be something out of school, go-going. For 100 or 2, some asshole broke me in, wrecked all my innocence. I'll just keep go-going, and this dance is on you. Rain on me a million, I'm not flawless, but I got a diamond heart. I was always curious if she was singing about being a stripper in this song. Better get a good look, baby, cause soon I'm breaking out of here. So maybe she's a stripper, but she has plans on breaking out of the stripper lifestyle. Harkening back to her earlier works, this autobiographical song talks about Gaga's time as a go-go dancer in New York. Oh yes, I remember reading somewhere that she was a go-go dancer. Isn't a go-go dancer and a stripper the same thing? That's a stupid question, probably. Go-go dancers are dancers who are employed to entertain crowds at nightclubs. I've only seen strippers once in my life, in person. This was 10 years ago, maybe. I went to a bar with my cousin and her friends, and yeah, there were strippers. I don't remember that night. To be honest with you. I also like the rock production on the track. It reminds me of her Born This Way album. I think my favorite lyric of the entire song is "I'm not flawless, but I got a diamond heart." But anyway, let's move on to track 2. Ayo.
Here we go. I can't wait to smoke them all. Blow it in your face, blow it in your face. City girl is dripping like gold.
And that was track 2, Ayo, and this is a wild song. She brings a lot of quirkiness to her singing, a lot of personality, of course, and I feel like I'm at a bar, a country bar in Texas somewhere. There is something quite American about this album so far. Can't wait to smoke them all, whole pack like Marlboro. Blow it in your face. Blow it in your face. I can't wait to cast my spell. Which one? You'll never tell, cause I got it covered. City Gravy Southern got you dripping like no other. Get off on me. My body's got you pleading. Light me up and breathe in. Mirror on the ceiling. Off on me. I don't think I could ever sleep in a bed with a mirror above me on the ceiling. That would just be all kinds of weird. It is a sexy song, but there's also something a little, I guess, trashy about it. The song Ayo has touches of country and is reminiscent of the music played in dive bars, which I don't think I've ever been to, with double hand claps and brass accentuated beats. Lyrically, it is a metaphor for having sex. Something I've always wanted to do is go on a road trip through the States because I've never been to the States before. So of course I want to go to New York and Las Vegas and California one day. But something I also want to do is go on a road trip through the States with a couple people. Just driving through each state and just visit places like the different restaurants and stores and bars. Just see how other people live and other walks of life. Because I've been living here in Canada, in this province, for so long, my entire life, and I'm bored. I really am. I want to see other cities. I want to see how other people live, and to me, that's so fascinating. Of course, I won't be doing that anytime soon, but hopefully within the next 15 years. We are only 2 tracks into the album, but you know what? For me anyway, I am having fun. I can see why this album wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea. Or maybe I should say I can see why this album wouldn't be everyone's keg of beer. Okay, that was stupid. But when I listen to this album, I don't think of tea. I think of beer. What's the most American beer? Budweiser. So it looks like the most popular beer in the United States is Guinness, and Budweiser is 5th. When commenting on the song on Twitter, Lady Gaga clarified that the track was about different things like cigarettes, one enemies, as well as having sex. Leaving your haters in the dust is a sexy feeling. Drag 'em like a smoke. Leave your blazing tracks in the road. It also says that AO was originally planned to be the second single, but instead Million Reasons was chosen due to the commercial success of Million Reasons prior to it being released as a single. And I remember the Chainsmokers. Yes, the Chainsmokers. I remember the whole argument that happened there over Twitter when the Chainsmokers dismissed Perfect Illusion. Whatever happened to the Chainsmokers? Who knows? I mean, I still like listening to them from time to time. I won't lie. You can judge me all you want, I really don't care. But they still have some good songs that I enjoy listening to from time to time. Not all the time. Just sometimes. It's like Nickelback. Everyone hates Nickelback for whatever reason. I like Nickelback. I do. I haven't listened to them in many years, but I remember being a teenager listening to them all the time. I guess what I'm trying to say is just listen to whoever you want to. Don't hate an artist just because everyone else hates them. But anyway, let's move on to track 3, Joanne.
Take my hand, stay Joanne. Every part of my aching heart. Then the angels do. Go. Where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're going? Girl. Things don't work that way. Girl, where do you think you're going? Girl. And baby, you're just moving on. Can't wait to see you soar. Girl, where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're going?
And that was track 3, Joanne. This was always one of my favorite tracks from the album. I do like the album version, but the version I prefer more is the piano version called Joanne, Where Do You Think You're Going? She's riding a white horse into the sunset, I guess, on the album artwork, and that version is absolutely gorgeous. Now, it looks like she is singing about her aunt on this song in particular. Take my hand, stay Joanne, heaven's not ready for you. Every part of my achy heart needs you more than the angels do. Honestly, I know where you're going, and baby, you're just moving on. And I'll still love you even if I can't see you anymore. And I won't lie, when I was listening to this song, I was thinking of my mom, who did die in March of this year. And yeah. Gaga intended the song to have a healing effect for those dealing with loss and pain. I think I have a stronger connection to this song than I did before just because of what happened to my mom. Joanne died due to complications arising from the autoimmune disease lupus when she was 19 years old. In an interview, Lady Gaga revealed that Joanne's lupus got more complicated after she experienced a sexual assault, and those complications resulted in her death. I remember... What am I trying to say? I think it was in the documentary on Netflix. I think it was a documentary where Gaga wrote this song, and then this was before the album came out, I think, and she played this song from her phone to a family member. I forget who it was, but they were in the kitchen, and I think it was from the 2017 documentary, Gaga 5'2". Yes, during a scene involving Gaga and her grandmother listening to the track. I need to watch that documentary again. Just a beautiful track, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. So let's move on to track 4, John Wayne.
It's like, I just love it how you know, just like, you go a little faster!
3 a.m. Mustang speeding too fast. Hold tight, he laughs, running through the red light. Every John is just the same. I crave a real wild vein.
Same.
let's get high. Love junkie on the 3D blender, his grip so hard. I'm sick of their city games. I crave a real wild man. Baby, let's get high. Oh, to the eye. Here I
And that was track 4, John Wayne. Yes, I remember always liking this song, and I remember there being a music video for this track as well. And it's a shame, I was disappointed that this song didn't do better. 3 a.m., Mustang speeding, two lovers headed for a dead end, too fast, hold tight, he laughs, running through the red lights. This song is filled with badass behavior and rebellion and breaking the rules, running through red lights and tossing beer cans out the window and just, yeah. I really do like the lyrics of this song. I like, of course, Gaga's personality once again. The personality she brought to this song, and it's just a fun song to listen to, for me anyway. I crave a real wild man. I'm strung out on John Wayne. And initially I didn't know who John Wayne was when I first listened to the song way back when. I thought perhaps maybe John Wayne was code for marijuana, just like Mary Jane. But John Wayne is an American actor, best known for his Western films. I don't watch Western movies. It's my least favorite movie genre, so I can see why I've never heard of him before. The lyrics talk about Gaga's romantic craving for a wild, blue-collar man and smoking cannabis. I mean, who doesn't crave a wild man from time to time? I also liked the wild rock production of the track. It just makes you want to go out and have a wild night on the town with a wild man or woman and just get into mischief. But let's move on to track 5, Dancing in Circles. Oh. And that was track 5, Dancing in Circles, another wild song on the album. And this track in particular reminds me of her other song, Sex XXX Dreams, from Art Paw. She's singing about touching herself and something about it feels good to be lonely or something. Hurts inside, but not this time. All the things that are on my mind vanish as I touch myself. Call out loud for you. Tap down those boots while I beat around. Let's funk downtown. Do you want to funk downtown? Do you want to funk me downtown? We can funk in the parking lot. We can funk in the garden, in the park, in the library, in the McDonald's bathroom. Okay, I am a classy gal, so that will never happen. I'm more of a funking in the shower kind of guy. Anyway, I can't help it. Gaga just brings out my inner slut sometimes. The song is an ode to masturbation. The lyrics find Lady Gaga dancing alone late at night, fantasizing about a past lover and masturbating. I lay around, touch myself to pass the time. I feel down, I wish you were mine. Dancing in Circles is probably my least favorite song on the album so far. I do like listening to it. It's a lot of fun, but I do prefer the other 4 songs I listened to already. But anyway, let's move on to track 6, Perfect Illusion. And that was track 6, Perfect Illusion. And first and foremost, I will say I do like the production of the track. I think that's the highlight and the only good thing about it. I don't like her vocals on this track. It just sounds like she's screaming the entire time. It is a little bit of a jarring song to listen to, and I don't really like the chorus. I kind of like it, but I don't. Out of all the songs I've listened to so far on the album, this is my least favorite, and that's really unfortunate because this was the lead single. This is not lead single material. I think that's one of the issues I have with the album so far. There aren't any mega hits on the album, and that's something I said in my other Lady Gaga video for Art Pop. There just aren't any bangers on this album. There's some fun songs on here, but we don't have the mega hits on here. With the exception of Million Reasons, which was the runaway hit of the album. But when it comes to up-tempo bangers, there aren't very many. I am enjoying the rock production of this album though. Like I said already, it is kind of reminding me of her Born This Way album. That album was more rock oriented also, and I like the bits of country in these songs as well. I remember hearing this song for the first time. I was so excited. I was waiting the entire day to hear this song when it was released, and then I heard it and I was very much underwhelmed. I kind of enjoyed it, but I remember a lot of people bashing the song and hating it. Perfect Illusion lyrically delves on the singer's highest of highs and lowest of lows in a relationship and is ultimately a commentary on social media. Speculation that the song referred to Gaga's ex-boyfriend, Taylor Kinney, was refuted by Gaga. Now, unfortunately, as a lead single from the album, this song didn't do well. It only reached number 15 on the US Billboard Hot 100, which, being a Lady Gaga lead single from an upcoming Lady Gaga album, is not very good. Oh yeah, Lady Gaga did a dive bar tour in support of this album where she visited various dive bars all across the United States. The event was sponsored by Bud Light, of course. I don't get the fascination with Bud Light. I'm sorry if I offended some of you out there, but I don't get the appeal of Bud Light. I always do look forward to listening to the song for the production because it really is ear candy. I like that. I do kind of like the lyrics. You were a perfect illusion. I don't need eyes to see. I felt you touching me. High like amphetamine. Maybe you're just a dream. That's what it means to crush. Now that I'm waking up. Okay, so I do like the lyrics, kind of. But anyway, let's move on to track 7, Million Reasons.
You're giving me a million reasons to let you go. You're giving me a million reasons. Give me a million reasons. If I had a highway, I would run for the hills. You're giving me a million reasons. Give me a million reasons. I bow down to pray. Lord, show me the way. I've got 100 million reasons to walk away. Head stuck in a cycle, I look off and I stay out. It's hard to even fathom which parts I should believe. About a million reasons I bow down to pray. Lord, show me the way. Stay. Every heartbreak makes it hard to keep the faith. Good one, when I bow down to pray. I've got 100 million reasons to walk away. Baby, I just need one good one to be.
And that was track 7, Million Reasons. And I mean, I don't need to tell you, this is such a gorgeous song, but also sad, and lyrically it's great. I like her vocals as well. I've got 100 million reasons to walk away, but baby, I just need one good one. Tell me that you'll be the good one. Baby, I just need one good one to stay. I do think out of all the songs I've listened to so far, this is the most emotional. Also, track 3, Joanne. I also like this part here. I bow down to pray. I try to make the worst seem better. Lord, show me the way to cut through all this worn out leather. Million Reasons grew organically from the conversations that Hillary Lindsay, one of the co-writers of the song, and Lady Gaga were having one day, with the title phrase, Million Reasons, lifted from the singer's musings about the men in her life. Now, luckily, this song did a lot better, and I like to think that Million Reasons saved the Joanne era. If it wasn't for Million Reasons, I don't know what would have happened with the Joanne era, and it's sad because I am enjoying Joanne the album. It's not my favorite Lady Gaga album, but I think it is quite refreshing. I think another reason why the song did so well is because it's so relatable. Almost anyone can relate to the song to some degree, not just a boyfriend or girlfriend, but a sibling, or maybe a mom or a dad, or whomever. I think we've all known somebody who we just give chance after chance to. A million reasons. There are a million reasons for me to leave and to walk away. And I'm ready to. But I only need that one thing. I only need to hear that one thing from you. And if there are a million reasons for me to leave, there's at least one for me to stay. And if you say what I need to hear, if you do what I need you to do, then that will be enough for me to stay. And unfortunately, some people don't ever give you that one reason. And you keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and it never comes. And it comes to a point where you just have to walk away. But anyway, let's move on to track 8, Sinner's Prayer.
Came down the mountain, dragging our love affair. It was a hell of a scene at Daddy's feast. Saying forever too fast. Don't get mad, can't blame a tramp. I get on my knees and beg you, hear my sinner's prayer. It's as good as, good as, good as, good as gold. Got a baby sister who looks just like me. He said to when he drinks, gets on the break. Hear my sinner's prayer. I am what I am. Sure as hell alright, but it's as good as, good as, good as, good as gold. I can carry you, but not your gold. Hear my sinner's prayer. I am what I am. Good as, good as, good as, good as gold. Good as, good as, good as, good as gold.
And that was track 8, Sinner's Prayer. And it's boring, unfortunately. It's the most boring song on the album so far. I do like her vocals, of course, but even her vocals are nothing to really write home about. It's just a very bland song. Nothing really happens. I do like the lyrics, of course. But overall, I don't really have much to say about this song. I get on my knees and beg you, hear my sinner's prayer. I am what I am, and I don't want to break the heart of any other man. But you, hear my sinner's prayer. It's the only one I know. It sure as hell don't rhyme, but it's good as, good as, good as, good as gold. So I do like the lyrics. To me, that's the highlight. She is singing about this relationship quite a bit. And there is speculation that it is about her ex-fiance, but she shot that down. Taylor Kinney, I don't even remember. Oh, okay, I kind of remember him. The song finds a vulnerable Gaga wanting her man to love her true self. I don't know, this song didn't resonate with me like a lot of the other songs did, unfortunately. It's not really one of the go-to tracks on the album, for me anyway, so let's move on to track 9, Come to Mama.
Everybody's gotta love each other. Stop throwing stones at your sisters and your brothers. Come to mama.
This part always sounded like a Christmas song.
Figure this out. Fought over prisms and a 40-day flood. Life-saving rainbows did more than they've ever done.
My poor AirPod, it just flew out my ear. That's the thing about these AirPods. It can just fly out of your ear and then you lose it forever, and there goes. I mean, these were not cheap, so you can understand my peril. But they do fit pretty snugly. I mean, people typically aren't like doing this all the time when they're listening to music, so they're pretty safe. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one, but the chorus of this song always reminded me of a Christmas song. It has that jazzy, cheerful production with the saxophone. The 1970s inspired composition has a big chorus, highlighted by a brass section and an upbeat drum rhythm, and talks about accepting one another. I like what it stands for. Everybody's got to love each other. Stop throwing stones at your sisters and your brothers. Man, it wasn't that long ago that we were all living in the jungle. So why do we gotta put each other down? I do like the chorus of the song. I like the build up towards the chorus. It's so explosive. I mean, you saw it for yourself, and I enjoy listening to it. It's not one of my favorite tracks from the album. For me, it's not really one of the go-to tracks, but when it does come on, I can appreciate it, and it's fun. The only prisons that exist are ones we put each other in. Come to mama, tell me who hurt ya. There's gonna be no future if we don't figure this out. So, lyrically, it's a very powerful song. I do find this album can be a little confusing at times. Production-wise, it's kind of all over the place. I don't think it's the most consistent Lady Gaga album. But let's move on to track 10, Hey Girl, featuring Florence Welch.
Sometimes I go too far. Darling, don't you leave me. Hey girl, we can make it easy if we lift each other. Hey girl, hey girl, hey girl.
I like that part.
Just know that I got you. Lady, is it lonely? I've been calling out your name. I'm just trying to keep it safe.
I can only do this for so long before I just start getting a headache. Okay, thank God that's over. I feel bad. I'm sorry, but this song was so boring. More boring than Sinner's Prayer. It's just so blah and uninteresting, and I couldn't wait for it to be over. So out of all the songs I've listened to so far, this one, I think, is the most boring. And I feel bad because they sound great together, Lady Gaga and Florence Welch, but it's just a very boring song. God, could you imagine if this was released as a single? Everyone would just fall asleep in their cars and drive into a ditch. The lyrics of the song are an ode to friendship. And that's another theme of the album I'm picking up on, especially with Come to Mama and now Hey Girl. There is a sense of camaraderie and loving your brother and sister and stop hating each other and throwing rocks at one another. I really don't have anything to say about the song. Hey girl, we don't need to keep on one end up another. Hey girl, if you lose your way, just know I got you, blah, blah, blah. So if you do like this song, I apologize for not liking it, or maybe I don't. It's just not my cup of tea. Anyway, let's move on to track 11, Angel Down.
I confess I am lost to be loving and grateful. Angel down. I'm a believer, it's a trial, foolish and weak. An angel down. Where are our leaders? Oh, oh, oh. angel down? Why do people just stand around? I'd rather save an angel now. I'd rather save an angel down. Wanna lead us all.
And that was track 11, Angel Down. A very serious song. I think it might even be the most serious song on the entire album. It's quite heavy to listen to, and her vocals are great. I do like the lyrics as well. This isn't really a song I ever listened to. It's nice to listen to for the first time, but it's not really one of the go-to tracks on the album. I confess I am lost in the age of the social. On our knees, take a test to be loving and grateful. Shots were fired on the street, but the church where we used to meet, angel down. But the people just stood around. I'm a believer, it's a trial. Foolish and weaker. I'd rather save an angel down. It's chaos, and where are our leaders? There does seem to be some social commentary happening in this song. Angel Down was inspired by the death of Trayvon Martin, who was shot dead by George Zimmerman in 2012. Do I remember that? George Zimmerman fatally shot Trayvon Martin, a 17-year-old African-American high school student. Zimmerman, a 28-year-old man of mixed race, was the neighborhood watch coordinator for his gated community where Martin was visiting his relatives at the time of the shooting. Oh, I think I do kind of remember this. Zimmerman shot Martin, who was unarmed, during a physical altercation between the two. Gaga sings lyrics like, shots were fired on the street by the church where we used to meet. It is one of the most powerful songs on the album, so I can really appreciate it. Obviously, there's a lot of meaning happening in the song. It's a tragic song. It's quite heavy to listen to. And it's not a song, like I said already, it's not really a song I ever listened to. But let's move on to track 12, Grigio Girls.
I was 23. She was so alive. A Texas girl, real strong. Let your teardrops fall on the Pinot Grigio girls. 'Cause it's a fired up world. Make it all make sense. 7 years ago, I was Joanne's friend. I tossed that cork and called all the Pinot Grigio girls. Keep it real cold, 'cause it's a fired up world. Does it all make sense? Spice Girl in this bitch. All the Pinot Grigio girls. Keep it real cold. Pinot Grigio girls, gather round now. Watch your blues turn gold, 'cause it's a fired up world.
And that was track 12, Grigio Girls, Pinot Grigio Girls, and I always enjoyed this song. There is a sense of optimism on the Pinot Grigio Girls. Pour your heart out, watch your blues turn gold. All the Pinot Grigio Girls, keep it cold, cause it's a fired up world. I also like how she brings up other people's names in the song, like Ashley. Dye Ashley's hair red, and then we'll have our 6th Spice Girl in this bitch. She also brings up Joanne as well. I was 23, she was 35, I was spiraling out, and she was so alive. A Texas girl, real strong, taught me this drunk song. So when I start to bawl, she says, let your teardrops fall. The song was written for Sanja Durham, the creative coordinator of Gaga's team, who had breast cancer. So we have made it to the end of the album, track 13, Just Another Day. Oh yeah, this song.
Just another way to prove I love you when it's hard today. And when you say that thing that you say that makes me mad, I'll turn away and think of different ways to keep just another day. And after all, it's just another day.
And that was track 13, Just Another Day, a cheerful song to listen to. I think this is a deluxe edition track, just like Grigio Girls. And obviously it features Brian Newman. Brian Newman is an American jazz musician and singer. Come on, Mark. Now, I failed to mention that Mark Ronson was a producer on this album. I could learn a thing or two about behaving, but I love you. And after all, it's just another day. Such a feel-good song, and just makes you, I don't know, it just makes you feel good. So that was all 13 tracks of Joanne by Lady Gaga, and I enjoyed this album, but I think this might be my least favorite Lady Gaga album. It doesn't really appeal to me like all her other albums do, but I can still appreciate what she was trying to do with this album. It's more toned down. It's not as erratic and in your face as all her other albums. And I like the country influences, also the rock and roll, which was kind of reminding me of her Born This Way era. I think the album flatlines a little bit towards the end, unfortunately. The end of the album is a bit heavy, especially with track 11, Angel Down. It's a little bit of a somber affair listening to this album in some tracks. It's fun, also, especially the beginning of the album. Lyrically, it's about loss, the loss of her aunt, Joanne, and she's also singing about some other relationship or relationships in some of these songs. Like speculated, they could be about her ex-fiance, but she shot that down, so whether it's true or not, who knows. She also sings about camaraderie, especially towards the end of the album, coming together as a family and friendship and just loving each other, your fellow man, your fellow woman. So it's a sad album, but it's also an optimistic album. Also, she tackles sex and love and relationships and even social commentary like track 11, Angel Down. I do find a few of the songs to be quite boring, I won't lie, especially the second half of the album, but I like her vocals. Her vocals, to me, was one of the highlights. I also like the songwriting on this album. I don't find the songwriting on this album to be as engaging and interesting as all her other albums. I also enjoyed the production. I think the production on this album is just as good as all her other albums. I just wish there were more hits on this album, but I don't think this album was supposed to be that kind of album. It wasn't supposed to have the bangers and the big hits like her prior albums had. This was supposed to be more toned down, and this was, I'm thinking, supposed to be just a very special project. I don't think Lady Gaga was expecting this album to be a huge success, or maybe she was, I don't know. I do think at times the album was kind of all over the place. It's not the most cohesive and consistent Lady Gaga album. It's a very down-to-earth album with sparks of the erratic Lady Gaga that we've come to know, especially on the earlier tracks like John Wayne and Dancing Circles. It's just, overall, I didn't find this album as a package to be as interesting as all her other works. You can also tell that there was a high emphasis on her vocals on this album than any of her other albums. I think this is when Gaga started to take herself more seriously when it came to her singing capabilities, leading up to A Star Is Born, her very first major film role. So you could tell that she was kind of starting to distance herself from her erratic Lady Gaga persona that we've come to know from Born This Way and The Fame Monster and Art Pop. And you can see that even now, today, in 2021. She's more, I don't know, like, I get the impression, I think she's more so interested in movies now. I mean, I don't know anything about her, but I think into her 30s and 40s, I think she might start gravitating towards movies than her music. She will always put out music, I imagine, but I think this coming decade will find a higher emphasis on her acting and her movie career. So I think for me personally, this was essential. Joanne was essential. It had to happen, and A Star is Born, for her to stay relevant. I am curious to know where Lady Gaga is headed with her music after Chromatica. I mean, what could she possibly put out next? What will her future album sound like? I was thinking of doing a video for Dawn of Chromatica, the remix album for Chromatica, but I think I disposed of the idea. I was also going to do videos for her 2 jazz albums with Tony Bennett, Cheek to Cheek and Love for Sale. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know, those albums don't really appeal to me. I do want to listen to them. Maybe I'll listen to them off camera, but if you guys want me to, I will listen to her 2 jazz albums on camera. And that's pretty much all I have to say on the album and Lady Gaga. What do you think of Lady Gaga? What are your impressions of her? And were you hesitant about her music early on? Did you grow to like her? Did you grow to hate her? And I don't know, what does she mean to you? What does her music mean to you? Maybe she inspired you, influenced you when it came to her fashion and her artistry. So officially, I think that's all I want to say. So thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can say, hey, how are you? And I'll see you next time. Take care.